This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
A strong earthquake shook Puerto Rico early this morning. Residents there say they felt buildings in the capital of San Juan sway.
Now, that earthquake comes just a week after Cuba was hit by a quake and the 4-year anniversary of the earthquake which hit Haiti. And as LaDawn Davis tells us tonight, it seems as though these natural disasters are hitting close to home.
With 2 Caribbean earthquakes in the past week, climatological officer Mike Stubbs today says even though an earthquake is unlikely to impact the Bahamas, we should be aware of their devastating potential.
The Bahamas is fortunate in terms of its geographical location, in that we lie on just north of the Caribbean plate, on the North American plate. Now what it means is this: the fault line, the line that separates both plates, lies to the south of the Turks and Caicos and Inagua. So therefore most of the activity will be towards the south. However, we found out also, historically speaking, in the early 1900s, there would have been tremors felt in the southern islands from an earthquake that would have happened just to the south in the Caribbean vicinity.
And while earthquakes are no threat to the Bahamas, Stubbs says we are prone to tsunamis.
Concern for us in the Bahamas is the tsunamis, and that is a consequence of these earthquakes. Tsunamis are very ferocious in terms of wave action. The way they move is such, they move at great speed, like 300 miles per hour. And in its wake, it can do any untold damages. So that's our major concern. Fortunately, the Bahamas is, in fact, has a relationship with the warning centers, so we can have a early warning mechanism in place. And I think NEMA plays a critical role in that regard.
A tsunami is a large, deadly wave, and Stubbs says Bahamians should educate themselves about them.
The movement beneath the sea or the ocean, this sends off a wave action because you're displacing huge, large, enormous volumes of water. And in so doing, it creates a wave. Out in the ocean, this wave may have a very small magnitude, that is in terms of wave height. The wave height may almost be unnoticeable, 6 inches perhaps. And so you're out and about fishing in the ocean, you may not feel it as much. But what happened then, when we look at the formation of land, and look at the gentle sloping of some coastal areas, the more gentle the slope, the higher the wave increase as it moves towards the land.
Now, while Haiti's 7.0 earthquake was devastating, Stubbs says Chile was hit with an 8.8 earthquake in 2010, making that event the strongest in the region. And even though there is no record of a tsunami hitting the Bahamas, Stubbs says one certainly has the potential to occur. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
The Minister of Tourism says the lifeblood of the country is in the middle of an upswing. Minister Obi Wilshcombe says even though the country is solidifying its footprint in some regions, the ministry can't stop there.
We have to appreciate that tourism is on the rebound. I think for the first time in a long time, we're around 100% occupancy throughout the country, whether you're in Nassau or in Grand Bahama or in Eleuthera and the islands. So it tells you tourism is now on the rebound. What we have to do now is be consistent. And the connection with these sporting bodies like the Miami Heat and the Miami Dolphins, here's a captive audience here today, 60, 70,000 people in the stadium. We get a chance to talk to them and talk about our connection. And they have to see how we can utilize the Miami Dolphins brand and that franchise to help us promote the country. So it's going to be effective, and we're doing it not only with the Miami Dolphins and the Miami Heat, but also with the Panthers, and we're going to extend it because they're just next door, and that hanging fruit is important for us to develop our tourism industry.
The Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association has named President and Managing Director of Cursor International, George Mark Antonius, Hotelier of the Year. It's the highest honor from the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association. Mark Antonius received the prestigious award during the opening of the Caribbean Travel Marketplace last evening in Montego Bay, Jamaica. The president of the largest private employer in the country says he's honored to be recognized.
Well, I think I feel great. I particularly feel great for all of our associates at Atlantis and the Ocean Club, and also, you know, for the Bahamas. It's the Caribbean after all, and it's really good when we can have the winner from here. Really, Hotelier of the Year doesn't mean there's one person who does everything. I frankly went there to bring the award back for the 8,000 colleagues I work with, everybody of who comes to work every day and makes sure that this stays the premier resort destination in the islands. So it was a great event. It was great to see all of the other countries represented, and I was delighted that I could get it.
Organizers of Rum Bahamas, a festival of rum, food and culture, are hoping that this festival in its first year will be a big success. Festival founder Alexandra Lynch estimates the staging of the festival will cost around $600,000 if everyone involved is to be paid. They're hoping to attract at least 9,000 people to the three-day event to be held February 21st through 23rd at the Fort Charlotte. Whether you're a connoisseur of rum or a casual drinker, organizers promise there's something for everyone at Rum Bahamas, where there will be tastings, lectures, demonstrations, and even competitions. The festival will provide exposure for a cross-section of vendors from small, medium-sized, and large enterprises. But organizers say, as it is centered around rum, vendors should at least have one item tied to rum, sugarcane, or molasses.
We believe in the potential of this event. We are encouraging everyone to come out and present themselves in a creative and new and vibrant way.
So we are really hoping that instead of saying, give of your lifeblood, of your profit, of everything you've done, come in and make something back, make a name for yourself, get exposure, promote your own business, and that's, we think, a way of helping the entirety of the Bahamas, again, to showcase our talents in a new way.
Now, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Dr. Daniel Johnson, said the festival has the government's full support.
2014 is now put down in the annals of history as the year of Bahamian cultural renaissance. And we have to almost award you for having the courage to step out in front and do one of the first major festivals.
Coming up, the Prime Minister projects good news for tourism across the Family Islands.
And in sports news, one team goes after the Night League pennant. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.